the Disc Golf Pro Tour's newest initiative, I guess we can call it. They announced it on social media today, and I mean, it got, we can call it mixed reviews. It got pretty negative reviews, but I think a lot of people are kind of misunderstanding what it is. So the title of the article, or the post that the Pro Tour put out, said, "We're excited to announce a new partnership with the Kingdome, a groundbreaking digital arena that will bring the tour's last round of the LWS Open at Idlewild to the metaverse on July 10th." And then put "read more here." And then if you immediately, like on Twitter, they tagged him in it, and it's the Kingdome does a lot with like NFTs and stuff like that. So a lot of people were thinking this is like an NFT type thing. What it seems like is, I've read the article and I watched, I think this was the biggest thing to like actually see what it is I watched this like on Eventbrite. They actually have like a hype video out. The Kingdome put it out, and basically what it seems like it's going to be is it's a $2 ticket if you're not a member of the Disc Golf Network, or if you're a part of the Disc Golf Network, you get it for free. You just sign in on your VR headset, and you basically can walk around in this lounge type area that has screens and just watch disc golf, is what it looks like. So basically, like if Silas and I and you are all in the metaverse, we're just in this lounge area and we can all talk to each other and like look at each other and look around and then just watch disc golf on screens. Is basically the gist I get of it. From what I read, there's not like NFTs involved. 100% of all ticketing proceeds are going to You Play Disc Golf, so it's all going to a charity. It's an interesting move, and it's one that I will not say it's a bad move. I think it's a sidestep as long as it didn't cost the Pro Tour money. If this is something that was just like a collaboration opportunity, and like it's cool. It is what it is.
It doesn't sound like it's anything.
No, essentially, no. But
what it sounds like to me is almost kind of like where like the, you know, if your university is playing like in a national championship game.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like the Boston Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Like when the Boston Celtics were playing the Warriors, and it wasn't at, oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name. What's the Celtics arena name? You guys aren't.
I should know, but I don't.
No,
TD Garden. TD Garden. Know. It's a TD Garden.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
okay.
Get wrecked. How dare you?
Okay. All right. I take it back. Impressive. Yeah, like I don't know if they charge for that, but they definitely open it up to. You think they do charge?
Because you can't, especially somewhere like the Celtics. Like you might have way more people than you can sit if it's just a free thing.
But like season ticket holders.
Oh, I'm sure they get in. I'm sure they get in free.
For free.
Absolutely.
Okay,
okay. I'm sure.
All right, but like that's kind of like the thought process, right? Except this is just like a virtual thing. So it doesn't seem like the Disc Golf Pro Tour had to pay for anything. It's just essentially like a link that they're just saying like, hey, if you want to come hang out with other people, like just like it seems like all this stuff was already. They're not creating this.
No,
is what I'm saying.
No,
all this stuff is already created. It seems like they just have like almost named. It's like a Facebook group. They basically just made a Facebook group. And they're like, if you want to virtually watch with other people, just join this Facebook group. So, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Am I going to ever join? No.
I think
I have no interest. I
think it just didn't come across well because they weren't super. It wasn't super clear.
NFT was in the name, or like
no, it was in the
NFT
tag.
was in something, and I think that's where things got.
Also, when I clicked the Twitter thing, you explained it so much better. I had no idea what was going on. And I tried to look into it a little bit before the show just so I had a little knowledge. I had no idea. So I'm glad you like told me because I had no clue. But yeah, they just basically made their own server for people to hang out in.
Yeah, so the Kingdome, this is like what they do. It seems like that's what they're trying to do is like
I don't know where there's money in this.
I think they're trying to bring it to like a bunch of different sports to where you can actually like sit in a stadium and watch soccer or whatever.
Again, I have no problem, but it's like, who's doing that? Who's doing that?
Yeah. If you were able to, I paid for this with NCAA March Madness, and it was cool for like 5-10 minutes. But what they did is they had a 360 camera. And so they had like 3 different options, and you'd put on your VR headset, and it was like you were sitting courtside. So you were like in the stadium. You could hear the stadium noise from the mic. You could hear the commentators if you wanted to turn it on or off. And then you would look back and forth.
You were literally watching the game.
Yeah, yeah. So you were sitting there.
So for you to see what was going on to the right, you had to turn your head.
I had to turn my head. Yeah. The other option.
Now okay. This is what I'm going to say about that. This was a huge thing on YouTube back in the day. YouTube 360.
Yeah.
Probably people don't even know. You remember it?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And so it first came out. I did a huge like brand deal with some company that wanted to do a 360 video. And, we were basically doing like, you have the 360 camera in the middle, and we had like 5 different stations around it, and we were all doing stuff. And so for you to like watch the video, you literally you had to do like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now let me tell you, it did not do well.
No.
People were like, like you said, it's something that I think like is an initial like, oh, this is kind of cool.
I think
like when you go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, I think like what you're talking about and what I experienced was like the beginning of this technology, where it's like really rough because it was on Facebook. They still every once in a while post like 360 photos where you like turn to see. Facebook luckily did the like you can scroll on it if you want to spin it around update.
Yeah. That was smart.
That was huge.
But that's I think on your phone and spinning, like that's stupid. That's so stupid. Once you get into a VR headset, it becomes a little bit better. You're still having to spin. But if the technology could eventually get where you're buying and you can like have the perspective of whatever seat at the stadium, then I think that's when it gets a little bit different. Like I could definitely see some games I would enjoy, like, Duke versus UNC, and it's just I'm sitting in the Cameron Crazies and I'm hearing them chanting, and I'm like, it's a next level of immersion into the game that you can't be.
Do you not get like a headache or anything when you have that on for so long?
No. I've played VR games for a few hours at a time. It's gotten good enough that it's very reactive. So you get more dizzy and stuff when you take it off after, because you've been immersed in this world for hours.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like you're watching for 20 minutes, and now you have to go to the bathroom, so you take it off, and now you're just like, oh.
Well, so VR, you can also go like to a menu, and when you walk out, it just turns on the cameras, so you don't have to take the headset off. So it's like you're still in VR, but you can walk through. But I'm saying,
imagine if that's like life.
I was saying we're getting close to like Wall-E, where all the fat people
absolutely
are like in their chairs and their big screens, and they're just driving around.
So I think that this weekend at Idlewild, I mean, am I going to get in there for free because I have an Oculus? Absolutely, because I want to be able to talk about it on Grip Locked on Monday. So I'm definitely putting my headset on and looking around and talking some with whoever's in there. But will I watch more than 2 holes? Probably not. Like I don't.
What is the?
It's not going to be. There's no real reason to it in my head.
What was it? Club Penguin? Was that the game?
Yeah.
Where like you just like walked around in like lobbies and you're just like, yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, that's the metaverse. That's the metaverse. So yeah, that's what it seems like. It's basically just, if you want, you can go to the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and then you can click the like buy your tickets here button. And it'll take you.
Wait, Silas, can we get this guy on?
What guy?
There's a guy in chat from the Kingdom.
Oh. Hopefully
somehow.
Did I explain it right?
No, he wants to explain it further. Can we get him into Discord?
Yeah.
Silas, can you work with him to get him into Discord just as a voice or something?
Let me see. He might have.
Alexander, hop in our Discord channel.
The link should be in the description. Once you're in, then jump into Debate Night Green Room, and I can drag you into Debate Night Live, and we should all be able to hear you.
So I guess there's stuff we're leaving out.
I mean, I'm all for it. I would love to.
Have you guys seen that movie
more.
Ready Player One?
Yeah,
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's one
of my favorite movies. It's so good.
It's a good movie, but it's like It's like VR stuff. It's cool.
All right, he's gonna try to get in here. So if he pops into the green room, I'll drag him in, and I'm curious to hear like what I'm missing out. Because like I said, I'm very open to this idea because I could see myself with the right.
There's no loss though. That's
Unless
the thing.
they're
Like,
paying for it.
No, yeah, as long as the Pro Tour's not
Paying
paying,
for what?
like as long
What are you
The
paying
service, the VR service.
well, it seems like the ticketing's all going
It's not
straight
a service though.
Yeah.
Well, no, they set up the room for you to walk around in and watch it. Like they set up the stadium,
Yeah,
Kingdome. They built out the area you're
What-
all in.
I mean, why can't it just be like
sweet.
a
Okay.
standard?
We're gonna assume this is him. We're gonna drag him in. If this might be someone random, just be prepared. Can you hear us? Flash?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What's going on? Thanks for having me on. I figured I'd pop in just to say what's up.
No, this is great. This is great. So can you provide us a little more information? What am I missing out on here?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I just want to first of all say thank you guys for having us on. We've been working directly with DGPT in the foundation just for a few months actually behind the scenes here, and I think you explained it pretty well. And I think one thing that's important to note is yes, we are an NFT community. So Kingdome actually started as an NFT platform, but what I want to make clear is that the NFT component to all of this, think about it as kind of like a season ticket. And you nailed it on the head at the outset, right? The Kingdome actually hosts several different sports leagues, events within our metaverse stadiums. So the NFT, by owning an NFT, it gives all NFT holders access into each one of these events for free. So we've actually held events with professional MMA organizations. We have a partnership with the Basketball League, which is a professional basketball league here in the US. And we've done events globally. That's what the NFT is for.
Okay.
For the upcoming LWS event this weekend, essentially NFT holders obviously get in for free, as well as subscribers to the network. But we're also doing an Eventbrite link, which all proceeds 100% goes to charity, goes to Uplay.
Gotcha.
So I did just want to kind of clarify that at the outset as well. Yes, I understand. Obviously, I've read through the comments. I know that there's a certain sensitivity around NFTs. I just wanted to make that clear. There's no NFTs required whatsoever to access the experience.
Sweet. So the NFT is essentially something that people who have bought that will have free access to the event through you all. People who have Disc Golf Network subscription will have free access to it, and then people who just want to experience it can just pay $2, no NFT, no nothing like that. You're just getting a, traditional ticket to be able to access this essentially.
That's exactly what it is. And listen, I mean, I think you guys talked about this and you nailed it on the head. And I've been listening for a while. So first of all, kudos to you guys. This is super interesting. I've never tuned in before.
Oh,
but
awesome.
There's a few pieces that I guess, and sorry, I don't want to hijack the
No, go for it.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. So I think just a few minutes ago, you guys were talking about the popularity of disc golf in general, right? And talking about, hey, if you're in a smaller city versus a larger city like Atlanta. One thing, and this is actually the ethos in terms of where our project and what our vision for all of this looks like, is there's two ways to consume sports right now, right? A is at the event in the real world. We call it IRL. You have to be at the stadium. There's nothing like that, right? I'm sure all of us can attest to that. Being at an actual sports event, there's nothing like it, especially if you're a fan of that sport. However, there's barriers to entry there, right? Whether they're economic, geographic. We all saw what COVID did to the stadium or attendance experience. There's certain obstacles towards the IRL experience. Now look at the other end of the spectrum, right? You could be sitting on your couch at home, watching on TV or a laptop. And if you think about it, sure, like you're watching the content, but it's not necessarily the most engaging or socializing way to consume the content, right? We're all on our phones texting with our friends about the event, or we're all, if you're a bettor, right? You're looking at live betting lines across different sports books and trying to see if you can get live lines for the event that you're watching at hand. So with the metaverse, right? Like forget the word NFT, because I know that, again, that has a terrible connotation. But with the metaverse, what we have tried to recreate, and we've just scratched the surface, but what we've tried to recreate is breaking down the barriers that physical stadiums provide, right? And recreating a stadium experience in a digital environment so everybody could access it. You don't have to be in Bedford. You don't have to be in Atlanta. You could be anywhere in the world and still feel like you're actually at the stadium or still feel like you're consuming the content with other like-minded sports fans. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Are these people like having conversations during the game?
Exactly. So that's kind of where, listen, again,
how does the sound work for that?
Yeah. So again, this is the beginning of all of this stuff. And you guys talked about, YouTube 360, so on and so forth, but we're still at the beginning stages. So what you're going to see now, you described it perfectly as a lounge, right? We're at a stage right now where it's a sports lounge. So you walk in, there's 3 screens. There's one massive theater style screen where we're taking the existing live stream and projecting it into the stadium. But to make it a little bit more engaging, a little bit different, we actually tried to build, I'd say, different incorporations around the event. So as an example, I don't know if you guys saw this or if it was in the press release.
Hold on a second. So it's not 3D. It's 2D, and you're in a 3D world, but you're watching something 2D.
Correct. So it's the existing live stream on a 2D screen into a 3D environment. Where yes, you can voice.
Is that the same thing you were talking about, Hunter, with your game?
Not with
your game that you watched?
Not with March Madness. No. So March Madness they had
3D.
They had the 360 camera sitting on the sideline. So that was slightly different. But this is
Okay.
more like you're at a movie theater, essentially, correct?
Yes, and I mean, listen, our vision for this, and we write this in our white paper, like our overall mission is we want exactly like you described at the outset of the show, for you to walk into the stadium and literally feel like you're sitting in a seat, whether it's courtside, the 100 section, 200 section, choose your own views. And then you look to your left and it's your friend sitting right next to you where you actually feel like you're sitting next to them.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. The technology exists. It's just expensive, right? Like the NCAA has a budget to be able to invest into that. And we're actually chatting with them about how can we actually take that first step. The problem is everybody's scared to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone says, "Oh, there's this negative connotation about the metaverse, and we don't want to be the first to mess it up." Right? So we're still at that infancy where. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think to kind of wrap everything up real quick, I think it is a it's a service that some people are gonna find super cool and they're gonna be really into it, and there's gonna be a bunch of people that don't. And my thing with the Disc Golf Pro Tour getting involved in it is like, as long as, like Hunter was saying, as long as like they're not funneling a ton of funds towards something like this and taking it away from other things, I don't see having multiple. It's the same thing as like some people, for example, like to listen to Joe Rogan's fight companion streams when UFC fights are going on, and they'll have the actual fight going on, and then they'll have Joe Rogan on their phone or YouTube, and it's like an additional way to kind of consume the content. Like, I think having multiple ways is completely fine. And it doesn't have to fit everyone's cup of tea. There are going to be some people that love it. There are going to be some people that think it's pointless and not like it. And that, I mean, I just don't think it's, as long as, like Hunter was saying, as long as the Disc Golf Pro Tour aren't writing fat checks to make this happen, then I don't see there's a problem with it.
Brody, I'm going to jump. I know you guys want to continue the show. Just one last piece to finish off here. I mean, the different incorporations that we're building around the event are also important to note, right? Like, we actually have a live halftime show within the stadium that we've actually put together separately. So we're featuring up and coming artists. We're featuring a pretty well-known recording artist out of Nashville. We actually build out competitions as well. So we're going to be doing an over-under competition for each one of the disc golfers who are participating in the LWS Open, where you could actually compete for official merchandise. You can compete for, monetary prizes. And I know there's certain community members who like it and don't, but you can also win NFTs. And then there's also a merchandise store. So we're trying to mimic that real-world stadium and build these different engagement and activation factors on top of the actual content.
Nice.
So I just wanted to finish with that.
No, I got one quick question for you. Because obviously, like the next steps in a stadium type sport make a lot of sense. What do you see? Like, what are some of your goals if this continues to be a regular thing with disc golf or even traditional golf in general? What are some ways that you think people can get more immersed by watching through y'all's service versus watching on YouTube? Like, is there a way in the future you think that there's like a camera following the cards or anything like that? Or like, what's some long-term visions?
Look up for everybody watching and for you guys, look up the Netaverse, Netaverse.
Okay.
It's what the Brooklyn Nets did. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
But that's the next step. And it's not the final step, right? The final step is literally feeling like, again, to your point, you put this on and you feel like you're actually at the event and you get to watch it in 360, hear the sounds, everything. What the Brooklyn Nets did is they took live gameplay and they kind of converted it to, if you ever played like NBA 2K or NHL, whatever, some of those online, 2K type games, they've converted it into that type of format. So you feel like you're in this digital universe and you're actually watching the game live It's just in a 2K type of environment. That's the next step with all this.
Yeah, and
the last step again is really like a one-to-one image of what's actually happening in the real world, but that everybody could access and feel like they're actually at the stadium.
Now, correct, the Netaverse, you could like switch to almost be seeing like what Kevin Durant was seeing, correct?
That was one of the incorporations. I would say the main part of it though was that 2K type of recreation.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Go to YouTube and look it up, and you'll see kind of what they've built out. They never executed it though, right? They just kind of show the possibility of what this metaverse environment could look like. Again, the problem is dollars, and the problem is somebody needs to take their first step forward. Where I truly believe that every team and every league will have their own metaverse stadium in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. No, okay. That makes perfect sense. I was just curious some of the different ideas going forward. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be in there this weekend checking it out. I'm all about, VR stuff like that. I'm all into it. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and I really appreciate you hopping on and giving us a little bit of a broader explanation on it, on some more details that we didn't have. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me on. Just a quick sneak peek as well. Tomorrow we're actually doing we're calling it a meet and greet, but it's basically an interview in the stadium with Ricky Wysocki and Ella Hansen.
Sweet.
So if you guys want to come check it out, that's tomorrow at 2:30 Pacific time. The link is open to everybody. You don't need a ticket or an NFT or anything, but could be some good exposure. And then we look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Thank you guys again for the time.
Yeah. Where do you find the link to the interview tomorrow?
Check the website, the kingdome.io.
Okay.
There's a section called How to Access.
Great.
You'll be able to find a link just to the meet and greet that we're doing tomorrow.
Perfect.
All right, fellas. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Have a good night.
Care.